The Physician of the Amber Fields, a forgotten Islamic love story from 1890 Virginia and Istanbul. Virginia, 1890. The fields of amber wheat swayed beneath a sky the color of old gold. The town of Ashcroft slept between river and rail, half modern, half haunted by its past. Among its quiet streets lived Eleanor Grace Whitmore, a woman of letters and reason, daughter of a judge, sister to a missionary, and secretly a soul adrift. Her days were filled with duty, her nights with books, yet none of them spoke to the ache in her heart, the question that neither sermons nor science could answer. What is the soul? And where does its light go when the body fades? That question began her journey. The arrival of the stranger. In the spring of that same year, a storm struck Ashcroft. Dozens fell ill, and rumors spread faster than the fever itself. The local physicians could not contain it. Then one morning, a telegram came from New York. Ottoman physician en route, specialist in Eastern medicine, name Dr. Idris al-Hafez. When he arrived, the townspeople stared. Dark coat, quiet eyes, and a calm that unnerved even the bravest. He spoke with precision, and when he treated the sick, he murmured verses none could understand. Eleanor, volunteering at the infirmary, watched him work. He placed his hand gently over a patient's heart, whispering, "Bismillah al-Shafi," the name of the healer. His presence unsettled her, not because he was foreign, but because he seemed to carry a peace that she had sought all her life. The conversation beneath the sycamore. When the fever waned, Idris often sat by the old sycamore behind the infirmary, sketching stars on parchment. One evening, Eleanor approached. "You study the heavens?" she asked. He smiled. "No, I study light and how it travels even through darkness." She frowned thoughtfully. "You speak like a poet, not a doctor." He looked at her then, his voice low. "In my faith, medicine is only half the cure. The rest belongs to remembrance. Every breath is a verse if we listen." From that day, she began listening. He spoke to her of Rumi, of Ibn Sina, of the idea that healing begins when the heart remembers its source. And one night he told her quietly, "There is a verse in the Quran, 'In the remembrance of Allah, hearts find rest.' I did not believe it until I saw how even grief bends before mercy." Her eyes filled with something she could not name. The judgment of Ashcroft. But peace has enemies. The townsfolk whispered, "The foreigner reads from strange books. He charms the judge's daughter with heathen words." Her brother, Reverend Samuel Whitmore, confronted her. "You shame this house, Eleanor. He does not worship our Lord." She replied softly, "He worships the same one, Samuel, only through a language older than ours." That night a stone shattered the window of the infirmary. Idris was ordered to leave by morning. The farewell of the riverbank. As dawn broke, Idris found him by the river, packing his satchel of urds and papers. "You're leaving," she said, her voice trembling. He looked up, sorrow in his eyes. "In my land there is a saying, 'When God writes separation, He hides reunion in its ink.'" He handed her a small glass vial, inside which glowed a faint drop of golden resin. "It's amber," he said. "It once was sap, broken, buried, and hardened by time, yet it still glows when the sun touches it. Keep it so you'll remember. Light never dies, it only changes form. She could not speak. He bowed slightly, then turned toward the waiting carriage. Years across the sea. 1894. Istanbul. The Bosphorus shimmered beneath the call to prayer. In a small clinic near Galata, Dr. Idris al-Hafez tended to children orphaned by war. But every sunset he wrote a letter he never sent, to a woman he called Nur al-Qalb, light of the heart. And far away in Virginia, Eleanor, now known for her quiet charity, built a small hospital by the riverbank. On its foundation stone she engraved 3 words in Arabic: Al-Shifa min al-Nur. Healing comes from light. The reunion at sea. In 1901, the Atlantic witnessed a rare voyage. Eleanor, now older and frail, had been invited to a medical conference in Europe, but her true purpose was unspoken. Off the coast of Malta, her ship encountered an outbreak of fever. Among the rescue crew that boarded from a nearby Ottoman vessel was a gray-bearded physician. Their eyes met through the lantern-lit mist. Time stopped. "Dr. Whitmore?" he whispered, disbelief trembling in his tone. She smiled faintly. "No, Idris, just Eleanor, the student you once told to listen for light." They treated the sick together for 3 nights. On the 4th, as the fever broke, she fell ill herself. He stayed beside her bed, reading from the Quran softly. "To Allah we belong, and to Him we return." She opened her eyes one last time and said, "Now I understand. The light you spoke of, it was never yours or mine." He nodded, tears falling silently. "It was always his." Epilogue. Istanbul, 1905. At the edge of the Bosphorus stands a marble hospital bearing her name, Dar al-Shifa al-Ambar, the house of healing from the amber. Inside, a glass vial rests in sunlight. Its golden resin glows still, and under it a plaque reads in 2 tongues, "Love that leads to light never dies. It becomes the cure for those who come after."